Hi and welcome to my playhouse. And today Christmas is coming, and me being as old as I am, I finally figured out that Christmas is about presents. Not really, but today we're gonna be looking at a really awesome laptop, or at least it used to be. We're gonna have a look at this Compaq Portable #3. So you kind of must assume that there have been a #1 and a #2, and then this is #3. So this is kind of the equipment that I would, as a little boy back in 1987, be drowling about. Just a couple of years before I would be drowling about younger girls. Let's have a look at this. This is awesome. Well, I might actually be wrong. This might not be a laptop. It might just be a portable. I haven't been able to find any batteries anywhere, so it's probably just a portable and not a laptop. So, okay. Well then, let's try and undo this and see it. So this is a portable that the Compaq Computer Corporation made back in 1987, and in front of it, it has a kind of a couple of levers here that releases the keyboard, and the keyboard comes out and you can stretch it with this cable, which has become very crusty. The plastic is actually just breaking off it in chunks, and it's very fragile. So I'm not into old computer equipment so I just thought this one was kind of funny. So we're just gonna have a look at it before I'll give it to someone else who has more use or collector's wishes for a device like this. I have looked at it on eBay, and they're not very expensive. The new price for one of these was about $5,000. It was available in an x86 286 12 megahertz, and later a 386 20 megahertz, and I do actually not know which one this is yet. I hope that maybe we can find that out along the way. The screen comes up, which is how did I do that? Oh, like this, which is, it's kind of cool. Well, it comes up like that, and you have a kind of a screen holder like that. Otherwise, you have a couple of LEDs here. You have something for the brightness of the screen, and this is a gas plasma amber screen, and we're gonna power it on a little later, so we'll get to see it. It has some scratches. On the side here we have the 5.1 inch floppy drive that is built into the unit. Next to it is a filler. I don't know if it's meant to take one more floppy drive, but that could be it, that it was meant to have a floppy drive there. I have no idea if there's any hard drives in this beast of a portable computer. On the back we have an extension port that can be covered up like that, and I do actually also have that. Further over here we have an RGB connector for an external monitor, the old one before we got VGA. RGB serial port and a parallel port, and 210 to 230 volt AC connect, and an on-off switch. So the power supply is built into the unit. Here is the extender. I've opened it up. So in recent videos I've been doing something with riser cards, and more or less all this plastic is just connected to a riser card right there that extends the bus of the computer, and you're supposed to remove this or run that over, and you can put on this riser card like that, and you can put in your I'm not sure what connector this is. PCI slots maybe? Old PCI slots. I think this was 8-bit and this was 16 bits. So old ones, but Well, I'm not gonna be using it, so I'm not gonna be putting this on, but it's actually kind of cool. This device would probably have set you back a couple of $100, is my best guess, but I have no idea. On the other side of the unit, there is absolutely nothing. There's some air intake or outtake, so that's about it. And on the top there is this really nice and, well, it's actually soft handle to carry the unit. And now plugged in power, so we might change to the screen and see what happens when you turn this on. Okay, let's power the unit. And the screen lights up right away. It's pretty cool, flat panel screen like that. Even though it's not that flat, it counts up. There is 640 kilobytes of memory in this unit. And it complains. It actually wants us to, let's see, 162 system. We have to run this diagnostics disk. Press F1 to continue. I just happened to get a lot of disks with this one, and sure enough, there is a user diagnostics. So I hope that's the one that they are referring to. We're gonna try and put that one in. I see that the screen is doing weird stuff on the camera. It's not doing that in real life. The disk is in, and to resume we'll press F1. Let's see if it reads the disk. These are crunchy old disks, so it might not work. But let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Meh, non-system disk. Okay, we'll have to try and put something else in. That's too bad. Really don't think I have any boot disk. So I just had a look at all of these disks, and there is nothing bootable. These won't boot. These won't boot. This one is actually all of these are installation of WorkPerfect 5.1, and that's just the old text editing program WorkPerfect. So that's not bootable either. We could just try this. It's the first installation one. And it checks the disks, and this is a non-system disk. So I don't have any boot disks in this format, so that's gonna be really hard. So we're gonna drop that. I also got a couple of disk head cleaning disks, where instead of this being a magnetic disk, it's kind of a cleaning cloth, so that it wipes off any dirt that is on the floppy drive heads. So we're not gonna get any further with the operating system, so we're not gonna see it run, which is kind of sad. I was hoping that this would run, but I think we'll take it apart and have a look inside instead, see if that's any interesting. So let's close this down, turn it off, and put the keyboard back. Like that. There is even something to raise up the keyboard a little bit if it's too low. But oh, take the cable out, Morten. Awesome. Turn it around. Figure out what screws it holds. And these are Star Torque screws. So I'll go get a screwdriver for that. Compaq was one of the first companies that I know of that used these screws, which was a hassle back then. Now they are so common. Okay, I found the right Torx here. Number 15. So let's take this apart. There is some little washers. he is. Back cover comes off. Oh, instructions on the back here. Awesome. Okay, and there is a lot of dust in this, so it has been running some. You can see that. Let's see what we have in here. Is that the system board? Could very well be. Okay, it seems like the processor is underneath this little plastic. No, it's not plastic, it's aluminium cover. So I'll try and take that off as well. And of course, that's another talk. Okay. I have some RAM here, and it looks like we have some cache memory on the system board here, and I'm guessing that's the processor. Wonder if we can get to that. Wonder how one would do that. Like that. And this is the 286 12 megahertz. Let's get that out of there. Oi. Oops, we need that. Oh, this is actually pretty cool. Look at that. I thought it would have legs. It does not. It has golden copper pads. That's so cool. It's tiny compared to today's processors. Let's put that back in. I've never had one of these out. This is awesome. I think it went in that way. So that's how we're gonna put it back. Like that. Interesting. And put this one back in. It goes in that way. There we are. 286. And down here we have the memory. I wonder how much these memory blocks are. They're probably not very big. Okay, I took out a whole lot of more screws, and now the system board is loose here, but I need to take off some cables to actually get it out. I just found that up here is a lithium battery that is located, and it's glued on there with hot glue. But well, let's get some cables out of the way, see if we can see some more. There we are. And we have a little bit more. Actually seems like there's a hard drive in here. They're a rather big one. 3.5 inch hard drive right there. And then there is that's not an easy to get to hard drive. And that's the power supply. That's a rather big power supply. A couple of, that's the that's the, yeah, that must be the graphics card that is sitting down here. I didn't unplug that. There's another plug there. Okay, that must, yeah, that would be the graphics card. It's has a lot of dust in here. I'm not gonna clean it up. I don't really care. I would have liked to get access to the hard drive. I wonder how that works. Oh! Haha! This piece of plastic comes up. then we kind of have access. Kind of. There's a screw here. We might need to undo that to get this unit out. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff you have to take out to get to that. But the cables go that way and the power also. Okay, this whole unit should be able to come out. I think I need that one to go away. Let's just try that. There's a screw on top here. So if we remove that, we'll see if this will slide out. It will. So on top is the floppy drive, and on the bottom is some kind of a hard drive. Yeah, we can see it through there. It's probably a Seagate. I'll take that drive out and show it to you. Here is the hard drive. It's kind of hard to see, but around here there's a label, and this is the Compaq CP341, and I just googled that, and this is a 42 megabyte IDE hard drive, so it's not that bad. I don't think it's working, but I haven't heard it spin up, but I haven't listened to it either, so I'm not gonna waste time on trying to get this to work. It's not. Although I did find this on eBay, and it's actually more expensive than the computer itself, so that was kind of amusing, because if you buy a computer like this you would actually get the hard drive, but I'm expecting that there is not a very big market for old drives like this. It did have a hard drive. Awesome. So all of this part is just the floppy drive and the hard drive. It's really big for that. Of course the floppy drive is big, but the hard drive, that takes up way more space than it really needed to, but well, back in the days that was probably how you did that. All of these cables are, that's a really bad system they've made there. Instead of making a back plane over here, going into the system board here, that would have been way better than pinning out all these cables that way. But well, they didn't do it like that. And all of this is just the power supply. Of course the floppy drive and the hard drive used a fair amount of power back then. Probably the system board here also uses a fair bit of power, but I'm expecting that the screen would also be one hell of a power hungry beast, and maybe the power supply is not as efficient as we are used to nowadays, but well, it's rather large, wouldn't you say? And instead of just I'm guessing that this system board both has 5 volts and 12 volts and 3 volts and well, maybe not even 3 volts. But instead of regulating that on the system board, if something needs 3 volts, the power supply probably delivers that. There is a whole roll of black wires and red wires and a yellow wire. And down here is the graphics card. Yeah, that does come out. So that they have made. Oh, now all of this is loose. Okay, what does this say? Doesn't say anything. There's a chip here from 1986, so that's probably it. So system board with graphics card right there. Awesome. So you could probably exchange the graphics card. I don't know if there's different models of this, but that would be possible to actually change out the graphics card. That would be neat. There is a compartment here next to it. I have no idea what that's meant for. It looks like it could have been a battery compartment, but I haven't really found any plugs for that. Well, I'll assemble this again. And I don't think I've fixed anything. Just before I put it back on the cover, I just found that this machine, you can get a 256 kilobyte or 512 memory option, or a 1 or a 2 megabyte option. So you can actually put in probably 2 megabytes of memory in this old computer. So yeah, megabytes. Okay, it's all back together, and weirdly enough there is no leftover screws. Let's see if it still works or if I destroyed it. It's counting up. Floppy drive. Complaining. Still complaining. And it's just not good. It might just be that the system has forgotten its BIOS settings and therefore is not able to see the hard drive, but without me being able to go into the diagnostics thing here, there's not a lot of, I don't know, we haven't tried having the disk in and then booting. We can try that. No. We're gonna leave it there. Well, I'm afraid this whole thing doesn't really work, or at least it has forgotten how it works. I'm not gonna be wasting any more time on it trying to get it to work. I'm gonna get rid of it again. I don't collect old computer equipment just to collect. I do collect some servers, but I do not collect old laptops like this or portable computers like this. So if anyone wants this thing, they can have it. But if you're not from Denmark, I would look into shipping costs before you contact me and say that you want this, because this might easily be $100, actually probably closer to $200 to ship this to the US. And you can buy one on eBay for $50, so it's not a good deal. So, but thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.